I'm here with Emma. Emma hasn't streamed in a while, so you guys have to be very nice to her. We're reading scary stories today, chat. This is the first time Emma met the cats, and they're so curious around her. I also have my washing machine on in the background in case you can hear background noise. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's the ghost watching.
Oh my god, I was reading scary stories here the other day. Second to last story I was reading, I felt something behind me, and I was like, I'm sure that's just my paranoia. Like, I'm reading scary stories. I'm sure that's just gonna, you know, I'm just paranoid. 2 stories later, my PC freezes and turns off. As the pool and the house where the iguana was originally found in were like something might be going on. I don't know, but I'm sure it's just a coincidence. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been going on. Do I think I have an I don't think I have an attachment. I think it might just be residual. I don't think it's actually like something intelligent. You ready to go into some spooky music? All right, I'm gonna start. I'm pretty sure I used to live in a haunted house. Growing up, I used to see shadow figures ducking around corners and in my backyard. My brother would hear voices coming from the other room in the basement. When he hosted sleepovers, at one point both my parents were so convinced they could hear someone walking around the main floor in the middle of the night, they called 911, only for the police to find absolutely nothing. For me, the worst of it was that I used to get crazy hallucinations with sleep paralysis. Some things I saw and felt include a little boy standing and talking to me at the end of my bed, a face in my ceiling, a shadow figure standing by my head as I felt fingernails lightly dragging down my back. I can tell you about that one. And at one point I felt like something grabbed my wrist and started pulling me off the bed, but I shook awake, the way you do when you're falling into a dream and wake up before I could. When I lived there, this maybe happened once a month, but since I've moved out 5 years ago, I've only had sleep paralysis a handful of times, but never with hallucinations. I actually get sleep paralysis as well. I haven't had them in a while. I got them really bad when I was in the UK.
I've gotten sleep paralysis. I've never seen like a demon or some shit though.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I've gotten it like pretty often. Like if I fall asleep on my back, I'm pretty much guaranteed to like have sleep paralysis.
Yeah, me too.
And a lot of times what happens for me is like I'm like aware that I'm awake, but I'll get like stuck in a dream or something. But I'll be aware that I'm dreaming and I'll be lucid and trying to wake up, but then I can't like open my eyes. But I can also feel my physical body being like just stuck, like sleep paralyzed. Yeah, they can't wake up. But I've never like been able to like open my eyes and look around and like see demons and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen shadows, I've seen faces, I've had things jump on me. I've had like things sit on me, things like talk to me. I've had the weirdest sleep paralysis. Okay. What are you saying? Wait, chat, was there something?
But I don't want to freak you out. I'm just dumb.
No, you're all fine. You're all good.
I'm just a paranoid little guy.
Honestly, I think even like this room makes me uncomfortable. Now, after the stream, this room makes me uncomfortable. The other rooms are fine, but this room definitely makes me uncomfortable. So you're so fine. I get it.
I mean, I'm just being dramatic. I'm freaking everybody out now for no reason.
You're all
I'm
good.
sorry. I had a fish tank back when I was young, but like a really big 70-gallon fish tank. We had this tank for a few years, and it never once had a leak or endangered our fish in any way. One morning, my family woke up and we went to school, and my mom then went over to feed the fish, as she did every morning. However, this morning she dropped the fish food into an empty tank. It was bone dry. There was no water in the tank, on the floor around the tank, or even on the other side of the wall. All of our fish were laying against the bottom of the tank, dead and dry. The first thought in this situation is perhaps the tank had a leak and maybe the water sank through the floor and or evaporated, but then we realized some of the fish were still alive.
Oh my god.
Poor fish. We rescued them and put them in a temporary fish tank, of course, but this meant that the water had been drained recently. It hadn't been an all-night, 8-hour plus draining event. 70 gallons, 264 liters of water had disappeared out of our tank in an hour or two. We checked throughout the house and found some water on the floor in the kitchen, but it was across the room and separated by a wall. There was also water in one of the bathrooms, but it was across the house and caused by a loose pipe, which ended up being completely unrelated. It simply disappeared. We even pulled up the flooring around the tank, and there was no evidence of any water damage or any water having been there at all. We've consulted fish and aquarium experts and never gotten a good answer. How do you just like have a fish expert plug? How rich are you? It's still the most confusing thing that has ever happened to me to this day. Our family conclusion is that our house is some kind of paranormal activity, even if it's just a thirsty ghost. That's fucked.
The thirsty ghost. He just drank.
I just like that you put a straw in there and just like Just sucked up all the fish water.
The thirsty ghost.
What kind of fish?
And then he had to pee, so he had to relieve himself in the kitchen.
Just pissed on your floor.
Yeah. That's
Oh, it's
so
a ghost
weird.
that just went through him.
Yeah, the poor fish. That is scary. I'm so sorry. I hope the fish survived. I hope most of the fish survived. When I was about 3 or 4, we were finishing moving into a new house. I remember my parents were unpacking in the kitchen downstairs, and I was promised ice cream if I did the kid equivalent of cleaning my room, putting toys away, clothes haphazardly shoved in the dresser, etc. It wasn't much mess to clean. I did so and went to get them to show them. But in the hallway stood someone I've always called the red-eyed man. He was standing in the middle of the hallway with an angry glower on his face, staring me down. It was like he was in grayscale, wearing overalls and a dirty white tank top, with red glowing eyes. I did that awkward kid thing where they slowly push past the person to get around them, too excited about ice cream, and used the movers bringing furniture and such in the house to question it too deeply. When the 3 of us came back upstairs, he was gone and my room was a mess. Toys and clothes all over the floor. My parents questioned why I thought to get them and tell them it was clean when it wasn't. And I said the red-eyed man must have come in and made it messy again. My dad immediately searched the house, my mom staying with me in my room, but he never found an intruder. I never saw the red-eyed man a second time. I have a story about a red-eyed man. I was sleeping in my parents' bed when I was like 3 or 4 years old, really young. And my parents' bed was, you know what, I'm gonna draw this to you. I'm gonna draw this for you guys. This one is the living room. And then you have the kitchen here, kitchen. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then the bathroom here, and then this was my parents' bedroom. So bathroom, yeah, you know, and then bed. Okay, whatever, I give up. And I was sleeping in my parents' bed because I was like 3 years old, and I needed to pee in the middle of the night. So I go into the bathroom, and this door was open. The door to the kitchen was open, and because there is a window in the kitchen, there's no window in the bathroom. You could see like moonlight, the light in the middle of the night. In the kitchen door, I see this like 7-8 foot like huge guy with horns and red glaring eyes. They remember me waking up and telling them about it, so it wasn't a nightmare. And I remember this huge guy with these like red glaring eyes, and I heard that as well. That was weird. I don't know what's happening. I swear he was trying to grab me. So I run away, wake up my parents. I'm like, Mom, the devil is standing in the kitchen door. The devil. And she wakes up and she's like, there's no one there. And then he was gone, and I've never seen him ever again. Crazy weird.
I was downloading something on my phone around midnight and stopped because my Wi-Fi cut. I thought it was just a momentary thing, but then I went to check the router. Not only was it unplugged from the wall, but a cable also unplugged from the box itself. This cable requires you to push down a button in order to pull it out. You can't just yank it. Along with that, in the same room, an old, partially full plastic water bottle with the cap on was on the floor under a plant, and a leaf from the plant mysteriously made its way into the bottle and started turning the water a murky green/brown color.
Ew.
Neither myself nor my parents had done these, nor do we have any explanation for how this could have happened.
My go-to is always like, if you have a sibling, that's your sibling. But if you don't have a sibling...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But if you don't have a sibling, that's weird.
If something weird going on in the house, it's probably me being a weirdo.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. I was sleeping, my sock was off. I love my socks. I was so sad. Then I remembered I was home alone. I was stuck questioning if the ghost had a thing for feet. I never found my sock. I'm gonna beat you up. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
In a video game, I'm gonna beat this person. I'm gonna take your sock, I'm gonna beat you with it.
With your sock. That's so funny.
In a video game.
Yeah, why are you even sleeping with socks on?
The ghost was doing you a favor, you freak.
Yeah, that should have been the first warning sign. What the hell? I used a Ouija board a few years ago and communicated with apparently a young girl named Daisy who had passed away at 5. For a few weeks after that, I witnessed a lot of lights turning on by itself and doors swinging.
Good for you. Sorry.
I actually would never touch a Ouija board. Have you ever?
No. I've supervised people, and then they don't do it right, and they're assholes about it because I've tried to like get people to like, if you know, I'll be like, I'll watch you.
Yeah.
There was one time, I had these dumbass, I don't know, friends, and they were like, let's get a Ouija board and do it in the graveyard, and I'm like, hey, that's not. You know what I mean? And
why did that delete itself? I did not. I was not on the keyboard. I was here.
No, I watched you. I watched it.
Oh.
That could be a silly little tech thing.
Yeah. That's just a little tech era. We'll say that. Tell me, continue. Sorry.
They did. Yeah. So I go to supervise, and I'm like, hey, don't do that, maybe. And then at one point, the Ouija board just spells out like, I am God. And then immediately, we close the board, and we all pack. I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here and go home. Their spirit saying they're God or something like that. Like that is like you are talking to Satan himself.
Yeah.
Type shit.
You're talking to something.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to submit your stuff, !spooky, I think it is, to get to the link to submit your own stories
and tell the story.
Stories.
Write it out. Don't be like a fucking cup fell off my shelf. Give us the details.
Yes.
Even lie. Make it interesting at least. I don't know.
Yeah, we want the juicy details. We want to, don't just say scary things happen. Tell us what exactly happened.
Bye, smooches.
Bye.